Hi, this is André from Rudirudel. We've been living in our house now for over a year, but the workshop is still a big mess. So let's do something about it. Right after the intro, I'm going to show you how I built my workbenches. I built my workbenches out of dimensional lumber and sheets of OSB that you can basically get at any big box store. And I started out by cutting the dimensional lumber roughly to size, and then with a self-made stock block I made the precise cuts. And if your miter saw is like mine and you can't handle the full thickness of the posts at once, you can even turn them around, and with the stop block still in place you will always get a perfectly matching second cut. You just saw me resawing the stretcher to the final dimensions, and then I started sanding everything down to get rid of splinters, and yeah, I had a little fun with the band sander. Okay, nobody got hurt here and we all learned a lot, right? So I continued on with the sheets of OSB and I cut the edges off. Then I put all the sheets of OSB on top of each other that would form one workbench later on, and I cut them all at once with my handheld circular saw so they would get all the exactly same dimensions. I have an 18mm OSB sheet at the bottom of each workbench and two 25mm OSB sheets on top of each other that form the workbench top. And I opted to only screw everything together instead of using glue. That was basically because I wasn't too sure about the height, but it turned out pretty perfect. The workbench height is now 95 centimeters and my body height is 183 centimeters, and for me this is the perfect working height. Now you can see me connecting the stretchers to the posts and then screwing them to the first layer of the workbench top, and I did that with 4x60mm screws, and then I hit all the screws by putting the second layer of the workbench top on and screwing that to the first layer from the bottom, and I use 4x30mm screws here. My workshop is pretty small, so I wanted to have all my workbenches on wheels, and so I put coasters on the underside of each workbench, and right after finishing the first one I built the second one, and you can see these got quite heavy. And yeah, now I'm preparing for the great moment, just a little more cleaning and tidying up, and here we go, ta-da! Okay, so as you can see, after building the first two workbenches it got really full in here, so I moved the old workbench out and put the two ones that I already had in place, and then I built the third workbench on top of the other two. These workbenches are really a great addition to the shop. They are a little higher than the old workbench was, so that's very good for the back, and they have a really flat and sturdy surface. As next projects I'll put some drawers in here, and I'll also add a desk to the workshop and maybe some cabinets to store my stuff in. So stay tuned on this channel, click the subscribe button, it should be somewhere down here, and see you next time.